Hey Sherry, what's going on? Thank you so much for reaching out for the personal reading with me. When I sat down to meditate on your email and get the decks and everything, I was told to use two very specific decks for your reading. One of them I had to go dig out of the archives, the Penumbra deck, and then the Grand Theft Auto deck, the original hero deck to the channel. This was the deck that started everything, okay? And pulling both these guys out of storage here, well, this one's been on the, I leave it on the table. I use it occasionally during all signs, but it's at the Wheel of Fortune. And that deck hasn't been touched in a minute. It's just been chilling out over here. And the Nine of Pentacles and the Chariot on this deck. Cool, okay, dig it. So I do what I'm told. And thank you for getting the email to me as quick as you did too, because that gives me the evening before. I read all my next day's appointments as like almost like an evening prayer before bed. That way, when I go to sleep, I can meditate, dream, focus, and connect and see what I get, all right? So we're gonna tap in and tune in. I've meditated on the email. I'm ready to go. We're gonna start by getting these decks shuffled and connected into your energy. So God, please connect me into Sherry's energy, please, and thank you. Sherry is a November 13th Scorpio who we have some issues between the man that's been on her mind in her life for a very long time. All right, this is now Clifton, but she calls him Charles, so we're calling him Charles, okay? Need to find out a little bit about their connection. Five of Swords with the Moon card reversed. It is known that both of you guys do feel a bit of regret that things didn't work out. Let me give you a table view real quick here too. Just the cards that pop shows the general energy when either of you guys think of the other person, is it instantly like just takes you guys back into the connection and what could have been that hasn't happened. Now I didn't say didn't happen, but I did hear hasn't happened, which means there is still energies in there that we're going to find out about for you guys. There's unfinished business, and that's why anytime either of you guys think about each other, it almost makes you sick to your stomach of like what could have been, why, what did I do wrong? And not just you, it's on both sides. He feels that way too. All right, so okay, God, we got 4 questions we got to check in on. All right. First question would be what the best way to gain clarity is regarding her dreams. We'll look into those and see what they're about. And also why she can't move on from Charles after everything that's happened, including what she went through with Sean and her families and things like that. Also wondering if there's any way that God or her ancestors and guardian angels would like to tell her and know about for this specific person or in general. We're open to all the message, whatever comes out, because when I'm doing these readings and I'm not bound by YouTube community guidelines, I kind of say whatever comes out. So sometimes the Ace of Wands get a little acier and the High Priestesses get a little more secretive. The Lover's card on the 8 of Cups and the Chariot. Ooh, it's already tied into this deck and I haven't shuffled it yet. That tells me the connection between the two of you guys spans an energetical distance. All right? It's kind of like that no matter where you guys are in the world, you're always on each other's minds and connected because there's a very deep bond. To see these two cards together tells me of a very deep soulmate connection. You guys have done this over the course of about the past 3,000 years. There's a lot of lifetimes that you and Charles come together, every single lifetime. 8 of Cups. Okay, there's a higher level to your connection. I'm getting like really tuned in. This is gonna get deep. This is intense. Okay, let's go for it. Give me 2 shuffles here and then we'll shuffle up the Penumbra deck to see what goes on. All right, so we're gonna do like base cards and clarifiers. Got it. All right, let's go. I love doing personals because I don't have to stick to just the standard collective readings. So let's go. Give me 2 shuffles. Ooh, hold on. I wanna see what it is. Everything, 6 of Wands. Okay, there is some kind of success or closure or completion for you and Charles in this lifetime. This could even mean that you guys come together and like you guys actually get involved at this point or this stage in your lives even, okay? So we'll get more details. Hermit card. It's hidden behind the scenes. That's why he's quiet too. Something about feeling like he missed out on a success that he's thinking about, like a successful union with you. All right, 2 shuffles. 1 and 2. Let's love this deck for Cherie's energy. Okay, that one's ready. And now this one, connect me in for clarifiers on the questions and details and specifics. Give me 2 shuffles. 1 and 2. Let's love this deck for Cherie's energies. Okay. All right, we're gonna leave him hanging out over here. These are gonna give us our beginnings on the questions, all right? By the way, I know you read the email already, but Charles is a July 24th Leo. Okay, that's Cancer Leo cusper too, all right? Which is cool, because it means Charlie is kind of a Leo that acts like a Cancer too. Very loving. July Leos are awesome. I love July Leos. Okay, now the first question about knowing about your dreams to gain clarity. The Hierophant. All right, Hierophant's connecting into another side and another connection with the star card. This allows you and Charles to experience your soulmate connection. This connection that's gone on for 3,000 years, all right, with the star card on the Hierophant. So we're gonna get specific into each of the dreams that you talked about in your email and find out what they meant and what they were about. So when you and Charles aren't together in the 3D energies, the dreams are how you guys stay connected and get to have little tap-ins or little previews of what is going on in your energies, okay? Literally, what your souls are doing, not what your bodies are doing here in the 3D, okay? And now, next question would be, what was number 2? Why can't you move on? Why can't she move on from this specific person? Known him for 20 plus years. The Ten of Swords, the Lovers, and the Chariot. I just got chills off of that. Oh, Page of Pentacles. We're learning lessons. We're going to learn all about your guys' life and connections, your life, past lives, because look what came back. The Gemini and the Cancer energy with the Lovers and the Chariot. The reason you guys can't get out of or move on, get out of each other's minds or anything like that is this deep connection that we felt at the beginning of the reading when they popped out. That you guys have done this dance for 3,000 years before the times of Christ. Okay? Ten of Swords. Your guys' minds, the wiring, the circuitry, all of it is intertwined and interconnected, okay? I don't know if you've done a reading on it, but when we're going this deep, I'm pulling very deep soulmate twin flame connection, okay? And that the energy that you guys have is so frequently, the frequency is so close, you guys might well be twin flames. Definitely soulmate, definitely deep soulmate. It could cross into twin flame territory too. But I will get details, okay? Now, the other one, see, I'm going in an order because I'm being told we do the dreams last or we do them wherever they fall into the equation, but I'm laying out the way I'm being told to. Okay, now, is there anything that God or your spirit guides, your ancestors want you to know? Eight of Cups, that came out in the beginning too with Temperance on the Page of Pentacles. You're doing the right thing. You have had a big sense of failure for quite some time now, not just regarding this connection, but it almost like energetically bleeds out into your day-to-day life, like this Temperance card where the ink is flowing off of the painting that the little Sagittarius here did of Archangel Michael. You're actually making all the right moves. Page of Pentacles, the masculine and the feminine energies. So most of all of your day-to-day decisions, the stuff that made you, like the stuff you said to Sean, you said the right thing, things that you've done with other lovers that have come into your life, your mother, your ancestors, everything like this, both grandmas especially, you've got some very powerful guardian angels, which we'll tap in and talk to them, letting you know that on the Eight of Cups, that you have walked away from and made the right decisions from a higher level of thought, okay? You put more thought into them than you know, and that's why they don't want you to be so hard on yourself for the decisions you've made. You've done the right thing. Every decision you've made was right for the time that you made the decision. Okay? And we'll get more on it. Okay, so let's see what we've got on this here. Sag, Cancer, and Gemini is reigning. Aquarius and Taurus are showing up too. Okay, cool beans. All right, so let's get into it. Let's start off. Where do you want to start? Lead me down the questions, God, please and thank you. All right. Ace of Cups. Okay, so we're going to start off about why you can't move on. The Two of Wands. Agent, that's the Knight of Cups, the Five of Cups into the Five of Swords, and the Five of Pentacles. I'm being told that, remember the synchronicities you mentioned in the email? I'm being told 555 and the repeating fives, or like you always look at the clock at 5:55, or even like every hour, 5 minutes past the, or before or past the hour. Like it's always 5:55 or 6:05. You never catch the clock dead on or almost dead on. The repeating fives, the struggles, and that halfway through a very long journey for your guys' souls. The reason that she can't is, now, I don't have a Four of Wands. I'm not confirming twin flame on this, but we're going to keep seeing where the direction goes. Because you guys have done this dance so many lifetimes that you come together, things start to take off. They start to have some Ace of Cups feelings to them, and the friendship grows into love. The Ace of Cups, if we broke this card down, really, like, look at it under a microscope, it would show how things start off as friends. One of you guys supports the other one. You meet under unusual circumstances, not your standard. You didn't just meet in elementary school or high school or anything like that, but yet something interesting drew you guys towards each other. And one of you guys, it always starts where one of you guys asks the other one for help or reaches out or somehow introduces yourself to it, okay? And with the Two of Wands, this is a very deep soul connection. You guys have a very interesting 1 to 5 frequency ratio, okay? And what I mean by that is that 1 out of every 5 lifetimes, you guys get together and things work out unbelievably well. No obstacles come in your way. You guys are usually what would be known as like the high school sweethearts, that after high school, you guys wind up just staying together, getting married, and like a totally deeper connection. Then there's 4 out of 5 lifetimes that you guys come together, and every one of those 4 lifetimes, you guys get so close to union. But whatever you guys each deal with in that lifetime prevents it from happening, okay? And it almost works in an even equal flow. That it's like one time hardly barely happens, then each time a little closer, a little closer, a little closer, a little closer, and then you have that one that you guys get together and it works out, okay? Now, 5 of Cups, 5 of Swords, the energies in this lifetime, because of what we're up against and experiencing, I mean, this is just because you guys picked this lifetime to incarnate, is telling me that we're in a very unusual set of circumstances with that Hermit card to the moon back on the 8 of Wands, that there's possibilities of breaking the cycle and not having to wait for that one successful one every time, but being able to possibly change the outcome of one of the other ones. Just like how a tarot reading is not etched in stone. That, let's say you get a card in reverse. You can do the work to turn that card upright and, you know, manifest and change the roadmap. It's like just changing your course with a map and a pen, you know? But that's got possibility in this lifetime, okay? Now, the 4 of the 5 times, that's where we have these 5 of Cups and 5 of Swords, that each one of those 4 lifetimes, you guys learn additional lessons, Page of Pentacles, that is what keeps drawing you closer and closer to each other in each lifetime, to the point where you get to that one that things work out beautifully. This time, in this lifetime, 4 of Swords and the 5 of Pentacles is telling me something about April 5th. Take note of that date. April 5th might be a date that you hear from them, or it holds some fond memories for you two guys, possibly, okay? But what I'm seeing on this one is that with what you're working on to circumnavigate and jump the timeline, the energy of the planets where we're at is giving you guys the ability to possibly do it this time with that Hermit card, okay? What I'm suspecting is that we're in a timeline and an energy. I think it's very possible. I'm going to grab a yes or no on this one. I really want to know. Because I think we're in one of the timelines, one of the 1 out of 5. It's not so much that you guys get to circumnavigate and like turn it into like 2 reunions. I think you're in the lifetime that it is the reunion. Give me a yes or no, please. 6 of Swords, seeing things from a better perspective. And the 4 of Wands. It's there. As soon as I looked at this, you guys are the twins. You guys are twin flames. It's a very deep connection. You guys actually, this is the lifetime that you guys are supposed to come together. You guys are on one of the highest levels. It's a very top shelf energy. I think in the levels that the soulmate and the twin flames go through, 4 of Wands, this is the lifetime that you guys come together. So you guys are a deep twin flame. This is like an end-all be-all connection. That totally explains why you feel the way you feel about them and why you can't let them go. Oh my goodness. I'm reading for Zodiac royalty. Okay, you two are of the highest level of soulmate twin flame connections. It's an honor to read for you guys. We will see the Emperor and the Empress, I guarantee. 4 of Cups, shut the front door. I love reading for you. The Empress. I got to see if this is the Emperor. Holy moly, it's the world card. It's whatever you want it to be. Oh my gosh. Okay. So right now, the devil is interfering. That's what has caused the silence, and for him to go ghost on you is the devil energy coming in, because this happens every time, okay? The lifetimes that you guys come together, that are the lifetimes that you're meant to have union, the devil gets upset because you guys are zodiac royalty in the skies. You're on one of the highest levels. No wonder you talked to, like you saw Mary and you heard God talking to you in your dreams. You're on that level. Girl, when you pray, or your guardian angels, when they're working with you, you go right to the highest level. You have the ability to talk to the Virgin Mary, to Jesus, and to God. You talk right directly to the Holy Trinity. It's an honor. You're one of the warrior light worker spirits that in a timeline, you did the same thing I did. Barged into God's office and said, I'm working right for you. I want to go to the top shelf. And he's like, that's a very tall order. You're going to have a lot to do. Are you sure you want to click accept on this idea? And you're like, yeah. And he's like, you're going to be hooked into this twin flame energies. You guys are really going to come together one out of every 5 lifetimes. It's going to be deep. And you're like, I want to work for you. I believe in you. That's why the devil is out to get you. Okay, you don't have people casting black spells or black magic on you, even your ancestral lines. What it is you guys have energetical royalty. Okay, your energy is of a highest shelf. The devil always tries to stop people that are this happy. And even where the devil laid down was on the Knight of Cups. And then all of a sudden we go from like these wonderful 2 of Wands, Ace of Wands, and then, Lover's card, and we connect, and then 5 of Cups, 5 of Swords, everything starts getting all sad and depressed. The devil energy, you're feeling it right now because you guys are nearing the point of being able to potentially break through the devil's barrier and arrive after a tower moment, which you guys are experiencing right now with everything going on in your life, that arrives you to the star card, okay? So, this is interesting. You guys are going to wind up together this lifetime. That's why you can't move on from him. Your hearts are promised to each other. What is he up to? 4 of Pentacles. He's just focusing on his money. He's not doing anything, is he? There's nobody else in his life, is there? The Lovers. Even God's like, Archer, please refer to the first card I popped out earlier at the beginning of the reading. Your guys' hearts are promised to each other. He can't move on either. Any relationship you guys would ever get into in this lifetime is doomed to failure. Now, in past lifetimes, the other relationships are what always stopped you guys from getting involved with each other, okay? In those 4 other lifetimes, either you wind up married, he winds up married, and one of you guys winds up in a really happy marriage. Sometimes there's a lifetime that you guys both wind up in really happy marriages. Sometimes there's lifetimes you guys both end up in very awful, abusive relationships. Then we have the one that you guys come together. But out of those 5 lifetimes, and you've done this for 3,000 years, that's a lot of lifetimes. But on this 1 in 5 cycle, it actually is that you guys meet each other every single lifetime. And you guys get involved, you guys get interested, and then things get in the way. Devil card. I'm already married. I'm already in another relationship. I already got this going on. One of you guys aren't ready for commitment. One of you guys get addicted to alcohol in one of the lifetime. Whatever it is, there's always something. But then there's that one. Each time, you guys get a little closer, get a little more interested, and you come into the lifetime that we're in now, and the devil really shows up because he's like, oh no, these lovers ain't getting together. These are the real deal. These people will breed happiness. You will literally, when you guys, if you guys had kids, you would breed happiness. Even just being together, the energy you give off will make people around you too happy. And the devil's like, oh no, I must stop this. But as you know, the devil always loses. The devil has never won once, okay? So this definitely explains it, especially, as long as you've known him, that's a long time. So I can understand why you feel the way you do, all right? I'm going to see what's up with him. Let's tap back into some deep energies here. Get out of the 5D level that the penumbra deck's handling, because this lifts the penumbrian veil. Let's get back into the 3D. Let's get back into the real world. What's he up to right now? Why is he ghosting? Why doesn't he talk or anything anymore? Because things were going until she made an ultimatum, and then things dead stop. 9 of Swords. Hangman, Page of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune with the 8 of Pentacles. Believe it or not, regardless of how long it's been, he's still heavily thinking about you and ways to try to make this work out. Because with this 9 of Swords and the Hanged Man, all those planets in Pisces, that's your signature. If you did the astrology and traced astrology back as far as you wanted to, at least 3,000 years, but I think it's longer than it's been around. But you would be able to find any time that you guys had like all these planets in Pisces and all these retrogrades at once, that's when you guys always come together. This Pisces energy is heavy duty controlling you guys, is the Wheel of Fortune. Like your guys' Wheel of Fortune, we would nickname it the Neptune Pisces, the Pisces energy. We would just call it the Pisces energy, especially the retrograde. It's very possible that one or both of you guys has your Neptune placement in your birth charts. It's retrograde. When you guys were born, Neptune was already retrograde. All right, and that would be back, 81 or 83, depending on which one of you guys it is. So your birth charts would tell you if Neptune placement. If it was retrograde at the time of your birth, that explains why, like literally right from birth, the devil energy showed right up. Okay, and it is that I'm going to die alone energy because you come from a long line of these warrior spirits. Okay, that's why your grandmothers were never married and died alone. Okay, very similar to it. Okay. You are not meant to do that. The Temperance card, you are meant to break this generational curse. Okay, perfect. We're still talking about him too, though. The devil does not want you guys together. Oh my gosh. It's very rare to pull multiple devil cards. Oh my gosh. Knight of Wands, because you guys are royalty. Now see, in your grandmother's lifetimes, because they were born in different eras into your cycle. Their birth charts are different. They were not able to overcome the devil energy, okay? That's why they died alone. You are of this warrior energy, and you are at the right time with Neptune's positions that you're the one that can beat this devil, okay? See, the Knight of Swords to the World card. Right now, things are going on behind the scenes. The moves you're making on the 5D that connects into your dreams are allowing you to beat the devil energy. It's a big battle. No wonder you guys have been quiet for so long since you made the ultimatum. The day you made that ultimatum to Charles, that was the day the devil showed up and right in your face. And it got to that point, he's like, I'm going to end this right now. And then you reached out regarding like the clarifications on this, okay? And giving him that ultimatum. And then he ghosted. And the devil's like, ha, I won. However, your 5D selves, both you and Charles, are actually working to beat this devil energy while your 3D selves are just going about your daily lives. That's why it gets so sad and depressing and frustrating, and it feels like it takes forever because your souls are fighting a great battle to come together so your 3D selves can actually come together. Know what I mean? Okay? Now, I want to get back to him. I want to talk about him because that hangman to the Wheel of Fortune, what is he doing right now while he's ghosted? Let's do that. Justice. 8 of Swords, he's on lockdown with the 5 of Pentacles and the 7 of Swords. He's trying to heal because, believe it or not, he didn't realize he was putting you in that position, okay? And the way that the situation was not stopping and his intensity into the connection was no wonder why you had to give an ultimatum and be like, this is like everything I've got. I can't give no more. What do you want from me? What makes this happen? And this 8 of Swords, the devil energy came in. The devil energy is why you married Sean. And then you told Sean the truth because your 5D warrior self is fighting it. And so Sean brought it up and you're like, Charles, that'd be the one. And you're like, even as you're saying it, you're like, what are you doing? What are you saying? He's doing it very similar too. Example, let's say right now he ghosted you because he moved on and started doing other things, got married, got involved. If for any reason he was going to get involved in a relationship with that Wheel of Fortune turning, it would never work out. It would end in similar results, okay? Now, 9 of Swords, the 8 of Swords. I've got a message for you on this one. Okay, 4 of Swords, go here. I know what this looks like on the 4 of Swords, okay? This is about the deaths in your family that you feel responsible for. And even the deaths on Charles' side of the family. You have held yourselves, 5 of Pentacles, the 8 of Swords, responsible to that forever. Understand, it's not you. It is not you. Okay, I know the cards are going to back me up. 7 of Pentacles, you feel like you failed. And with the Magician, on the 3 of Swords, it's not you. You don't have the ability to kill off people, okay? God doesn't let us have that decision. Here's your High Priestess. Here is the deeper Penumbran veil. Justice. Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. Only God decides when we go. You had no bearings on your family, like Sean. You had no bearings on Charles's woman. No. Both of them, Sean and his ex, both Sean and Charles's ex had their own life plans that they had set the intentions with God when they came into this lifetime, and God called them home when their contracts were fulfilled. Completely irrelevant to anything you did. You were meant to be in their life because you were part of their contract. Okay? You were not their end point, though. You were simply part of their journeys, which the reasons they all left this earth, Three of Swords, High Priestess, was divinely determined between them and God. Even Sean had fulfilled his contract with God, okay? And he had to go home. That's all it was. But don't ever think that it was you. Only one magician has that ability to do that stuff, okay? And even an energy of the end spirit games, like to do an end spell, an end a soul's existence. That stuff only works after the soul has transitioned. It doesn't allow you to kill somebody, all right? And unless you are a devout practicing Satanist, which even if you thought you were at one time, you don't have the ability to talk to Jesus, God, and Mary. And then even if you in the 3D free will decided, like, I'm going to go become a Satanist, it never works out. It null and void. God still triumphs and wins, okay? So there's no way in any way that you caused any of the deaths that you mentioned in your email. Their times and their contracts were simply fulfilled. 8 of Cups, the ascension of Jesus in the biblical tarot, and so God called them home. All right? With the Page of Swords into the Queen of Wands. Okay, so we've got that set aside. Now, this ties into the dream that you had, okay? Now, this is the dream that you were in the church, staring up at Mary holding Jesus, and then suddenly, like, felt sad, okay? Like you would never fit in or never belong. Let's find out. We're going to talk to Jesus to see what this dream was about. Because then at that point, he came in and, you know, grabbed you at your waist as you started crying, okay? It was... No, that was the one he wrapped you in his arms. The teacher dream was that. Okay, and we're talking about the Jesus Mary dream. Okay, cool. Thank you. All right. 4 of Swords, Elijah's retreat into the silence. King of Pentacles into the Sun card. This vision, this dream, was your 5D souls meeting in church, okay? Now, your brain interprets church of a statue of Jesus or the Virgin Mary holding baby Jesus as you would have seen it in a church growing up. So that's how your brain interprets the energy. Much like I see something and my brain will interpret it to a Titanic reference or one of these decks, something I know, so I can put it into words. Same thing. You and him were not in a church staring up at Mary holding Jesus. You were actually in front of them in spiritual, like court, but like the waiting room to get to talk to them. Not a court, because you weren't on trial for anything. You guys came together to check in with Mary, Jesus, and find out where you guys were with them along on your journeys, okay? This allowed your energies to convey what you were feeling, okay? At the time in the 3D, you felt the unlovedness, like never meeting his mom, never seeing the family, none of this stuff, because it never got to that deep of a level in your guys' connection to start involving the family and stuff, and you felt like you did something to cause it. The reason he came up and wrapped his arms around you is to give you that 5D nudge, so you felt his arms around you and that, so that when you awoke in the 3D from the dream, you still had that extra dose of willpower I talk about in the collective readings to allow you to carry on with the day-to-day struggles and fighting the devil energy that is around your guys' connection, okay? All right, and with the magician down here again, okay, Moses, what it's telling me is that you're like, why would I sign up for this where the devil just haunts me and him so that we can't get involved and don't get together in that? Again, you signed up for it. Here's the thing. Your 3D self doesn't realize yet that you are strong enough to fight this battle. Your 5D self knows it because you already signed up for it. That's part of your awakening, your leveling up, your 8 of Cups, your spiritual ascension in this lifetime. All right, it's coming to your 5D to be like, Cherie, you can actually beat this devil energy. You can do this, okay? And then lead you towards the happy outcome. So as you guys start to get closer to a 5D, 3D mashup, okay? And that is the energies that the dreams will start becoming more and more frequent the closer you two get to an actual physical reunion in this lifetime. Okay? Now, that's why the one dream you had about working in school as a teacher, that's more 3D in here. This is telling me even at that point that it's transitioning and you guys are starting to get closer, okay? Especially with him running down the stairs looking for you, all right? And remember how, oh, that's right, he was the one that started crying in the dream. Okay, remember how he was running down the stairs in the hallway and looking through every room and every door to find you? That's why this is just a dream in a schoolhouse. It's becoming more 3D. Now you're not with Jesus and Mary in a church. You're at a point that he's running in your direction. So this dream is telling me that he's getting closer to actually showing up. See? Queen of Cups, the Lovers on the Two of Swords. You guys go through this each lifetime, okay? And this dream is showing in the 5D that his soul is guiding his 3D self to bring him in your direction, and that he is starting on a return flight path. He's on his way back. He's going to end the silence and communicate as to why he had to shut down and take so long, which was because he felt like he couldn't do what you requested of him. He was too nervous. It was too involved. It was too intense and a lot to process. And that's why he just was like, I fear I can do no more. I have to put this on hold. And that's literally all that he did, so that you guys can work through this. The 3D, it's letting you know, look, he's looking for you. He's on his way back. He's coming, okay? Sun card to the King of Pentacles. It's the stability that Joseph and Mary and Jesus set you back to talk about, okay? Your work isn't done. Your guys' mission isn't finished yet, okay? You're in the planned out separation phase that you guys go through in every one of these lifetimes, the one that you guys get together, all right? And it's long each time. Believe it or not, this time is going to be shorter than last time. You guys are leading to a reunion. That's why you can't, a relationship, straight up. This is the lifetime you guys come together and things work out, okay? Now, that's even, yeah, we're talking about the dreams and the soulmate twin flame connection. So you guys have a very deep bond. You guys are end all be alls, okay? Now, tap me in, if you don't mind, the best way, any other messages on the clarity of the dreams, okay? And I want to know about the balcony dream too, if we could, okay? Strength card. Okay, the balcony is another, Death card, Seven of Swords, Two of Swords. Okay, the balcony dream, Nine of Swords, is when you guys are further apart, okay? If for any reason one of you guys starts like doubting the possibility of reunion, or he has a lull in the action and isn't finished processing his feelings about like how to come in correct to live up to what you asked for, how to communicate about like, okay, well, if I do these things for you, here's what I'd like to see. Because you guys have both been hurt so much by your past people, okay? That's why there were a few times you've accidentally called each other the wrong names, like maybe Charles instead of Sean, Sean instead of Charles. Because that bond connection, Tower card, the further apart, that balcony shows that your 3D selves are further apart at that time. And then the closer we get to the school dream is when your guys' 3D selves are getting closer. So your dreams are allowing you, we're going to go really deep Aquarius on this with the Death card into the other side with the Seven of Swords, that your dreams are giving you your energetical frequency, okay, if that makes sense? Because it's not like a constant steady reunion energy or a steady running energy. Each day, people come together and apart, and come together and apart, together and apart until they get like right there and together, okay? So like when you have more of the balcony dreams, it's one of those further apart energies in the cycle. But then you have like the schoolhouse dream, and then it's getting closer, all right? And then whenever a review is needed, if those wavelengths get too wonky and your dreams start getting weird, you go to church. And notice who's always there? Him. Because the dreams are where your 5D selves comes together to give each other the update on what's going on in the 3D. It's just a matter of interpreting said dreams, okay? And that's why every time you guys, you know, even in the dreams, he has said to you sometimes, you know you're dreaming, and you're like, yes, and I don't want to wake up, but you have to. But that's letting you know it's coming in, and that your 5D selves are already in union. You guys have always been in union. It's the 3D energies that allow the things that you have to overcome that you signed up for when you clicked accept, okay? That's, now, why did he rush off to appease the other girl in the dream? That ties into that woman asking you. That woman asking you about, like, what is it that has him so hooked? So she wanted to win him over? That's the woman in the red dress from The Matrix. She's the muse. Queen of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, Knight of Swords. She represents the devil. She's the devil. Horn honk confirmation. She's the flippin' devil. All right? That's why she comes in like, oh, well, hey there. You know, how can I get him for myself? Because the devil's trying to stop. The devil's trying to stop you guys. Boom, boom. If I had another deck with another devil, Death card, High Priestess. All right, I was looking, but you know what I'm talking about. The other woman that comes up to you in there, and then he rushed off to appease the other girl, that's the devil. All right, so that way you know when the devil energy is coming in to taunt you. And remember, just like Jesus and Satan in the desert, if you just look at that woman and say, no, sorry, he's not available, he's mine. Nope, not available. There is no Dr. Pepper machine in the desert. You know what I mean? You watch how that dream goes the next time she approaches you, and she's like, what is it about you that has him so hooked? Because I want him. Look and go, you can't have him, he's mine. And you watch, she'll disappear out of the dream. And then it will end in a completely different direction with you guys coming together for the Eight of Pentacles. It's the ability to rewrite that dream. That, when you have the dream that somebody else asks about how to attract him in, that's letting you know when the devil energy is strongest to fight you. And that's when, to fight both of you guys. And that's when you have to totally like power yourself up, strengthen, and understand the devil always loses. And because of a connection between you and Charles that's this happy, this positive, something that could change the energies of the world, you know, the devil's going to show up to do anything possible. That's why the girl in the dreams looks so dreamy, so drop dead gorgeous, prettier than you. Ooh, she might even wear a red dress in the dreams. You know what I mean? But it's the devil, regardless of what she's wearing in the dreams or how she looks in the dreams, coming in to be like, hey, can I get in the way of your world card showing up? And now, next time you'd be like, Two of Wands. My dream, my decision, no, you cannot. And you watch what happens to that girl. She will disappear, and then guess what? He runs to you, and then you have another one of your hugs and your coming together moments, okay? So now we still got about the spiritual ancestor messages, okay? So let's see what's up with that too. All right. Now, your grandmothers are the ones guarding you and guiding you in the right direction, okay? Ten of Swords. Even Sean is helping you, Six of Cups, because Sean's contract in this life, Five of Pentacles, was to give you what he did, treat you the way he did, and then to move on his way, to get you prepared and ready to come into a reunion and a union with Charles. I know you're grieving that loss. It's another energy, okay? But you're destined to be with Charles, okay? Now, the situation with you and Sean, your marriage and the loss of it, and everything that happened. Remember what I said. You were not the reason Sean was taken. His contract on his own life was fulfilled. A little subparagraph C, subsection A, clause number 13B, was that you guys were supposed to get married. It was in his plan. You were not a part of his master plan. He was not a part of your master plan. However, part of your guys' plan is that you are supposed to miss him, grieve him, go and visit the grave. That is your solstice. That is your pulpit and your connection, okay? You are allowed for that stuff, okay? Ten of Swords. You have a lot of powerful guardian angels, okay? It's actually very, very strong, okay? Interesting. Ten of Swords, the Three of Swords stays right there and connects into that one. All right? Now, what it is the devil will do anything possible to make you feel bad, guilty, and stop you and Charles from working things out. And he's doing it to Charles, too. Okay? All of the losses in Charles' life and everything. Even that, the weird way that it got between you and Charles, even when he found out that his ex had passed away. And that, because there was a little bit of that, what'd you do? What'd you do? And you're like, I didn't do anything. And you really didn't do anything. All right? Just like how her contract in his life was over and done with. And that's the thing. Now, Biggest reason for this, the losses you guys experienced, it's not a trauma bond, but it's the fact that the losses in your lives are what draws you guys back to each other. 10 of Cups. And I only did that confident toss on the card because this is what's happening in this lifetime. You and Charles do wind up together, okay? Now, the thing on this is you're at a point where if he called today, you'd be ready to go. He can't yet because for him, his life is far more complicated than you. He has more energetical red tape. And think of how complicated your life is. And then actually, he's even more complicated because I'm not downplaying your situation. I'm saying he's up there too. There's a lot of stuff that he's got to cut out, including the pure regret that he feels. Because do you know how much regret he's in that he didn't agree to everything that moment? Four of Swords, Temperance. Right back to that Temperance card down here with the Judgment card, because right now he's doing a lot of reflecting back on why didn't I do things the way Cherry asked me to? Because if I had just behaved myself a little longer, if I had just kept it together and gone at her pace, it would have worked out. And now because of the way I ghosted her, the way I treated her, I don't, she's almost better off without me. I don't even know how to fix it at this point because I feel so awful for the things that I said, the things that I did, the things that I didn't do, that it's almost as if she's better off without me. And this Five of Pentacles on Temperance, this happens every time. And it's especially longer in the lifetimes that you guys actually do get together, okay? Such as this lifetime, Judgment card, he's in heavy reflection because this period is the period that gets to the near reunion and the separation phase ending, okay? It's understandable that you're not going to be able to get him off your mind because he can't get you off of his mind either. But that Five of Pentacles and the Three of Swords, Five of Swords, that's where all of this regret is at in him. See? Moon card, Three of Wands, King of Cups to the Nine of Cups. Your prayers will be answered on this one because even with everything that you've been through, you have had wishes of things working out between the two of you guys. And now Sean and your grandmothers are working to bring this together to get you to your Six of Wands. That's your successful union showing up when he rides in on a white horse faster than KP does and ends the sentence with the Eight of Swords and the Page of Pentacles that sends a message. Okay? So your wishes is what your guardian angels are working on. Now, Grandma wants to talk. Okay? Grandma wants to talk to you because they died single and alone because, one, they didn't pass the test because they didn't have the tools. That stuff wasn't available to them at their time. In their lifetime, they didn't have the internet. They didn't have ways of looking into what the energies are doing, the devil energies, everything. They had to do it on their own. They didn't have the ability to Google if they had a stomach ache or WebMD, any of this stuff. It was all old school back then. Two of Pentacles, see? And on the Page of Swords with the Knight of Cups, there's the Five of Wands. Grandma's letting you know, girl, we struggled, man. We struggled worse than an old Model T with orange crates for seats, right? And she's wanting to let you know that she dated guys, she dated men, but that's kind of how they showed up, was driving old Model Ts with just like orange crates for seats and that. But because they didn't have this technology, okay, they didn't have this computers and the artificial intelligence and everything to allow them to beat the devil. It was so much easier for the devil to take people out individually one at a time back then because the algorithm didn't exist. Technology didn't exist. You lived by candles and stuff. Even though your grandparents were born in the age of the Depression, and so for them, their quiet era was that even if computers existed, we couldn't afford it to save our lives. And that's why they grew up so quiet, thrifty in that. But because of the lack of their technology, since the technology didn't really exist until they were too old, or till they were like too old to even know how to use it, you know what I mean? Okay? So, and this one with the Knight of Cups, they had to work what they had. And the devil presented some good energy, some good arguments, okay? Now, your one grandmother, okay? I got your other grandmother here. So this one's telling me that she didn't want to die alone. She didn't have the arsenal that you have to fight the devil. Literally, it ties into the Aquarius reading from yesterday because I'm seeing that same thing. She's like, listen, Cherry, In my time, in my lifetime, we didn't have the technology and everything. So she would be like Civil War army going, or World War One with muskets and stuff, right? She's like, Cherry, you've got technology. She's like, if I'm World War One army trying to fight the devil energies, that's why I wound up alone. I didn't have the technology. Basically, it's like, yeah, man, I got a gun and the NRA, and I'm committed. I'm 1,000,000% gonna beat the devil. But you come in your timeline and you're like, I got a drone. I don't even have to load the musket. It's actually got like 6 Hellfire-seeking missiles attached to it, camera vision. I know right where the devil's at, and so I'm just gonna like push this button here, and the devil's dead. You know, whereas your grandma was doing it with the old musket. It was a much harder fight. You've got a lot of stuff to help you beat the devil so that you and your twin flame can come together, because this is the timeline that you guys are supposed to. All right? And you both like are weeding out things like being hooked on exes, hooked on past, hooked on failure feelings, including you feeling like it's all your fault. It's not. Everything is playing out as it's supposed to. You guys are meant to be together, and you're coming into an energy and a change that's been so long that it's open doors that either one of you could reach out, okay? Because he still feels like, because of the way he disappointed you, let you down, and what it led to, that led him to ghost, he put a pause in it because he didn't want to tell you goodbye, but he wasn't ready to tell you anything more. So he's like, I can't keep doing this to her. I can't keep situationship her. And I don't know what to do. But instead of saying, well, in that case, I'm done, I'm out, no thank you, nothing, he just put it on pause. If I asked him right now, he'd be like, well, Archer, I haven't responded back yet. I haven't told her I'm going to do the work to change, or if I'm not going to do the work in that. So what you don't know with the moon card, 3 of Wands, like see him with a yoga mat there, he's actually doing the work. Like he thinks that the only way to even make an attempt to work this is if he comes correct right out the gate, instead of telling you, okay, can we keep going? I'll work on, meeting your demands and everything, and here's what I want from a relationship, that sort of a thing. Okay. You and Charles beat the devil energy. And I know, okay, yeah, you guys aren't still young in your 20s and gorgeous and fun, but you're pretty. You are downright, you're Proverbs 31 coupled up with Song of Solomon. You're a good looking woman, all right? And he's still a handsome man. Remember, the 40s now, that's the new age 30s, late 20s even to some people. So you guys are cool, all right? It still is guaranteed to go into the 6 of Wands. Now, however, the other grandmama is here too, okay? Let me talk to her. Because you mentioned both of them. 3 of Pentacles. Judgment. 9 of Wands. The other grandma's telling me after what she went through in her lifetime, she simply chose to die alone. She didn't want anyone in her life, okay? After everything went down the way it did in her life, it was too much, and she's like, it wasn't nothing with devil energy or not coming together or family lineage. Girl, I just chose to die alone. I didn't want anybody else in my life at the end. I wanted to enjoy the end of my life by myself. And so she's the one grandmother, she's like, I told everybody in the family what they wanted to hear. In reality, I like dying alone. She's like, I was the Betty White, and I was totally fine with dying alone. After what I'd gone through in my life, it was like almost a little bit of a relief to just be like, you know what? I'm just going to ride out the rest of my life on my own and not deal with this. All right, so one grandma's letting you know she chose to die alone. She was cool with it. But the other one wished she had been alive in this timeline right now when she was in her 20s, 30s, 40s, and that, to have the arsenal to fight the devil that you did, because she didn't want to die alone. All right, you just got the technology to beat the devil this timeline and bring you two together, okay? Awesome. I love it. Outcome. Queen of Pentacles. 4 of Swords, 2 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles. Have faith and trust in the way things are playing out. Remember how I told you were a Proverbs 31 woman? Queen of Pentacles. That's Proverbs 31 in the Biblical Tarot. 4 of Swords on the 2 of Swords. The reason that you guys have not come back together yet, on your side, this is your biggest work, your biggest assignment that you have to pass in order to get the reunion to happen. is to stop feeling guilty for everything. You have not killed anybody. You have not wished anybody's death. It was not some pact you made or anything that caused people to be taken out of your life. They fulfilled their contracts. Their time here was done, and it was time for them to go home. And they all love you, okay? And his ex, same thing, all right? It was their time to go. She loved him. You had nothing to worry about, though. Their contracts were filled. Now, here's the thing about your intuition and your empathy, even more so than just the fact that you watch tarot, you've got deep intuition. You're a Scorpio. We don't brag about it amongst the water signs, but everything in my research has shown me Scorpio has a deeper intuition and more empathy than Cancer. Cancer is too ego-driven. All right, Cancer is big-headed because they get to be the cardinal sign, and so they got an ego so big their crab head don't fit through the door. Scorpio is actually a little smarter with that death card, okay? So your intuition, your abilities is why you said the stuff you said of like, okay, example, is like when you told Charles that you would never date him unless she had passed away. You didn't wish the death. Your intuition picked up on the fact that she would pass away young, that it was in her blueprint. And you picked up the fact that it was going to happen. You just didn't have a tarot deck with you, so you just, Scorpio, you just spit it out. You know, that's it. You intuitively picked up on the fact that his ex would pass away young. Okay? That's why it happened. You didn't wish it, you received the energy before it happened as a premonition. Just like Ava Hart. Okay, Ava Hart was a passenger on the Titanic that her mother, before they boarded the ship, the moment her father told her mother, I got tickets on the Titanic, that moment her mother said, please don't go. We cannot take that ship. Please take any other ship, not that ship. We mustn't take that ship. And her mom stayed up at nights and slept during the day. That's the only reason Ava Hart was a Titanic survivor, because her mom was awake and felt the iceberg hit the ship and instantly woke her father up and demanded they go to the boat deck. Okay? That's all you experienced was an Ava Hart premonition, in the fact that you knew something about Sean and the ex of his, of Charles. You know, you knew about those people transitioning. And you just picked up on the energy. It just came out at the moment your intuition was heightened and strengthened, okay? Please, with the Two of Swords, have peace with yourself. That when you have peace and no longer have guilt for the deaths that you did not cause, that's when you've passed that test. And then you're even that much closer to reunion, because that way, once that test is passed, you don't feel like you're cheating on Sean with Charles when you guys come back together. You don't feel like you caused his ex to pass away. And so you don't bring his ex up to him anymore. Leave those energies buried and on the other side where they belong, you know? When you let the guilt go and realize, call a truce with yourself on the Four of Swords, a truceful, come here, peace. I want to make sure that she sees it. Thank you. There we go, truce, peace. When you call a truce with yourself and realize, oh, I didn't cause all those things. I didn't cause those problems. And the fact that one of my grandmas didn't beat this battle, I'm going to beat it because I got a drone with Hellfire missiles against the devil. You know? Oh, I love it. Magician card. As soon as you overcome that and stop feeling guilty for something that you did not cause, that's when you pass that test, and you're going to feel so much better, so much more stable, balanced, mature, 10 Pentacles, clear-headed, more happier, more outgoing, because you're not carrying around that guilt thinking you're a black widow that causes people to die. You're not. You're actually a very gifted empath. And intuitively, you just pick up on premonitions of what's coming in. Okay? Once you've accepted that, you're going to be 10 Pentacles, and that's when you're ready for your reunion. All right? He's got to go through some of that stuff too on his side of things, because he's got to be ready to be at your level. All right, he's got to come in and match your energy. You can't be one-way intensities. That's what he's working on, the stuff you guys talked about. That's why he never communicated back yet, because he hasn't cut you out. He's actually trying to do the work to be like, okay, I'm ready. It's like, it'd be so much better if he just said back before he ghosted you, just said, okay, give me some time to go and do the work. And if you're still available when I fix it all, then I love it. If not, I took too long. Instead, he's trying to bust his butt and do the work now, and then just reach out and be like, okay, I'm ready, all healed, all good to go. All right, you know, meet you on your levels. Once you guys come to terms with both of those, the reunion's going to happen so fast. And you are quite close to coming to terms with what you went through and the guilt that you've been feeling, because now it's like, Ten of Pentacles. I don't have anything to feel guilty for. Cool. I hope this helps, all right? I do see you two coming together in this timeline, in this lifetime. You guys are each other's end-all, be-all. There's just been a lot of stuff happen to you guys on this journey because you guys are of the highest level and the highest warrior spirits. When you do your prayers, make sure you address properly because you don't just pray to your grandmother, your guardian angels. You pray right to Mary, Jesus, and God. And that is an extreme honor in this lifetime. Okay? All right. I hope this helped give you some clarity on everything and to see how everything comes together for you guys, which is sooner than later. You're closer to things working out than things not working out. Okay? God, thank you for the messages too that we got for Cherry. As always, we appreciate your divine guidance, protection, and direction, and to help keep them on the course and protect them and give them all the Hellfire missiles on their drones that Cherry and Charles need to work everything out. All right? We're just going to be like, okay, the devil's right over here. Toby's right over here. So I'm just going to push this button. Yep, there we go. Toby's dead. Okay, that's the end of the devil. All right, so thank you so much for letting me read for you. It is an honor to read for somebody on this high of a level as you guys are. All right, I do hope it helped. Keep in touch. Keep me posted. All right, I love you guys. Namaste. Peace and love. Archer out. Yeah, Chariot. And even though I just disconnected from the connection, I was told as I was disconnecting, it was like one of those, like, just before you hang up the phone, you hear somebody saying something. You're like, oh, man, I already pushed the end button. But what I, what I heard on it to let you know is that you and Charles are meant to be together in this lifetime. And things will continue to happen to bring you guys back together. Okay? So I hope that helps. All right. Namaste. Peace and love, Archer out. Yeah, Chariot. Yeah, I made sure I hit the end button. You're going to do this to me again in 20 minutes and be like, oh, by the way, one more thing. I love you. All right, I'll talk to you later, girl. Namaste.